Recording.
Alright, we're back, and I gotta get something off my chest. There's something that I wanted to share for a couple weeks now, but, I've been pretty busy, and I just haven't found the right time about it. And it's kind of a story time, so I'm gonna try to get to the point quickly. Of course, we're over here on the 470, as I call it, or the Stroker Big Bore DRZ. And I want to tell you about a situation that happened at the track a couple weeks ago. It's really super annoying. Really super annoying. Some wire or something on the ground. Jerks. Almost ran over it. Okay, so we're going to get into this story time. I go to my hometown track, and I always bring, this time I brought my Grom and my two Gixxers, the 750 and the GSXR 1000, and I bring my tire changer along with the Grom. Like I said, a Grom already, but I always bring my tire changer and a few either take-off tires or some brand new ones or whatever it is, tires and all my toolkit to be able to change and mount and balance tires for my convenience and maybe to help somebody. And I was there for 2 days, and I did manage to mount and balance a tire for a guy on Saturday night, and then Sunday came around, and so usually in times past we would do clockwise and counterclockwise every track weekend on this track because it's available in that configuration. But we've been doing all counterclockwise recently, which is the only way in which they race motorcycles. So that's just for safety, because of a couple areas they're concerned about people pushing it and the runoff of it. So a lot of times people ask me to flip their tires for them. And, that's common practice for me. And I do that as a convenience to my friends and maybe make a few bucks. Like I said, I bring a couple 180s and a 190 and a couple of front tires because that's common. And I always bring a couple tubes. Well, so I switched out the tire for a guy on his rear, and I said, man, these will tear out here. And he said, I don't know, I got it for free from a friend that used to be Moto America. Life's good, don't worry about it. And so I switched it out, got it squared away. And for those who might be curious about it, it was the GPA N-Tech, the old Dunlop. But he said, go ahead and use it and all that stuff, so no problem. I said, hey man, I want to help you out, $20. He said, man, you want to give me some more than that? And I was like, nah, $20, that's fine. You spend enough money to be out here, etc. The next day, a guy came to his first track day, and he did the first session, maybe the second session. But the instructor saw his tire. It did not apparently get caught by tech. But his rear tire was absolutely smoked, and the instructors know me, and they said, hey, what we can do is, I know a buddy that might have a tire. We got a couple tires that you might be able to use, but they'll have to pay for them, etc. The guy approached me, and I said, yeah, man, I'll put this tire. I got a tire over here, $100, mounted and balanced, but you'll have to bring it to me on the wheel, and either you do it or somebody else do it. Get it off the bike and reinstall it onto the bike, because I don't have enough time. I don't want to miss a session since it's in the middle of the track day. And he agreed, and he was super happy about it. And he didn't have a rear stand even at that, so they ended up using my rear stand, and they ended up doing it in my paddock. One of the people, I want to protect their identity. One of the people that did it was somebody that I know. And they changed out they removed the tire or the wheel from the bike using my stands and my tools, which I'm okay with that, it's fine. And I quickly uninstalled the tire, installed my tire on it, and then balanced it. And the guy that uninstalled the wheel from the bike was out riding, and I said, the guy that I was doing this for was like, hey, aren't you going to put it on there? And I said, no, I'm not the person that took it off. Your bike's not familiar to me. Let them do it. I said, I've done my job. Here's your tire that's mounted to balance. How about $100? And the guy got me $100, and that was great. And for the record, this was a Q4, which is basically pretty close to being the same thing as a Q5 or Q5S Dunlop. The thing had one session on it, and I got it in trade from a guy. And it was, it's just a simple deal, no big deal. And yeah, it was worth a lot more than that, but you're trying to help somebody else that's displaced. And that's just the way it went. Well, the guy eventually got done with his riding and came in and installed the tire onto the bike. And I think the guy that I did it for, he might have partially installed it. I'm not sure, because again, I had to go out and get my session in, which I did. I came back and the bike was gone. They must have got it done and moved on. Well, a couple of my sessions later, the guy came up to me that I'd done the tire for, and he said, hey, I lost this spacer or something off of my bike. I said, well, do you know where the guy is that uninstalled and reinstalled your tire or your wheel to your bike, right? I said, because I didn't have anything to do with that. And he said, yeah. He said, yeah, I know where he's at. And I said, well, I think you guys ought to talk about that and see if you guys can handle it. Because I said, I did everything I was asked to do, on top of giving you basically a tire for half price minus labor to help you out. So the guy went over and talked to the gentleman that did the install of the wheel, and it wasn't very long. They came to me. Both of them came over to talk to me. And the gentleman, or the person that I did the tire for, was him hauling around. I said, hey, what are you coming back over here for? And he said, well, I kind of want to see if I can get some money back. Get some money back for this, because this part that's missing, it's going to cost me some money. And I said, I said to the guy, I said, do you think that's fair? I asked him, I said, do you think that's fair? That was my mechanic back there. Anyway, he said, well, this is going to cost some money, and I paid for a service. And I said, that's right. You paid for a tire that costs this much to replace if it was absolutely brand new, plus somebody to mount and dismount it. And I looked at him, and I asked the guy that removed the wheel from the bike and reinstalled it if he thought that he was okay with that. And he said, yeah, I think that's all right. And I said, you know what? I don't need your effing money. I said, if you're that hard up to where you don't think that you can pay, you think that you're paying $100 for a tire that's worth $200 plus my labor. And if you're that hard up and you want a refund on something that I did 100% right, and you guys can't handle it, I said, I don't need your effing money. I don't want it. So I got the $100, gave it back to him, and I said, don't ever ask me for any help ever again, and I hope you don't come back here again. Because that's just, I mean, how entitled do people have to be? I don't understand this, you know? It really annoyed me. So, I mean, I felt kind of taken advantage of at that point, but I was like, I don't need your $100. I tried to help you out and I did everything right. And the person that I did this, that actually made the mistake, supposedly, and uninstalling and reinstalling, mainly on the reinstalling of the tire or the wheel, I had to cover him because he's a member of my team. He's my friend. He's my buddy, and I didn't want this to reflect negatively on our group. And sometimes you just got to do man stuff. And for me, that's what I needed to do to make that deal right, is take one for the team like that. And I hope he enjoys his tire for free. And as far as I'm concerned, I hope he pets a wet dog. I just went off the curb. But anyway, that's how I feel about it. The rascal, he got me, and shame on him. I mean, don't be that guy. So that's the moral of the story.